Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host, Nathan P. Butler, author of A Saga on Home Video, and in that book, you could see some information about the Steelbook release of The Force Awakens in the US. You could also see some information in a little sidebar, meanwhile in the UK, or meanwhile in the United Kingdom, about the UK version of the Steelbook for The Force Awakens also. You've also seen those among the plethora of content here on From the Star Wars Home Video Library. But now we have something a little bit different, only a little bit different, that to me is kind of a big deal because it finally starts adding yet another country into my Star Wars Home Video Library. So this will be a quick episode because the product itself is fairly similar to something we've seen before, but I thought it'd be kind of a neat thing to check out when I got my hands on it. You may recall that in the US, this was a Steelbook for The Force Awakens. It was an exclusive to Best Buy. You had there the worldwide art, the WWA Steelbook, okay, that looks like it is in other countries, with the exception of the fact that in the US, you had an English title down here, and on the spine, you had an actual English title, but it was still Kylo Ren on the front, Phasma on the back, and inside, you had that scene of the chase. In the US, of course, this was a Blu-ray DVD digital combo pack from Best Buy, so you had your film Blu-ray, bonus features Blu-ray. These are the original versions from April of that year. So we're talking about the film with no commentary and the bonus features that were lacking, some of the ones that were later added into it. And then we have a DVD Region 1 copy of the film over here, and our digital copy code that also gives us Disney movie rewards. Along with comparing that to the Japanese Steelbook, the same art that can be found in that premium limited box edition from Movie Next that's back there in the background, we looked at this from the UK. When we did, we saw that the Steelbook itself is, again, WWA, worldwide art, but the spine now has character portraits on it instead of having text, and there is no English language logo on the front, despite the fact this is from the UK, a primarily English-speaking country. Inside, the Steelbook backing was the same, but because they tend to just do Blu-rays without a DVD copy included, or a digital copy, we just had the film with no commentary and that original bonus disc in their UK versions. What made this look kind of neat on my shelves, though, was that in the UK, a lot of times home video releases will have these little cardboard sleeves they can go in. So it actually looks more like this sitting on the shelf. Star Wars The Force Awakens, and the ratings, and the Blu-ray symbol, and the ratings over here. And then a somewhat different back than what we saw in the US. That's kind of neat, sitting on the shelves. Well, now we've got another item that looks a lot like this, and could easily be mistaken as a UK version until you look closely enough to read it, or notice that the rating symbols aren't there. That is a copy of the Steelbook version of The Force Awakens that I recently acquired thanks to a viewer of the series and fellow Star Wars collector Chris Clark, who you may know on the Star Wars Home Video group over on Facebook as Chris Jen. He was able to provide me with the Steelbook version from Italy, the very first Italian Star Wars Home Video release to enter my Star Wars Home Video library. And at first glance, it looks a lot like that UK one. Blu-ray symbol, but there's no ratings over here. And if you look closely, you'll notice, wait, that's a little bit longer than we're used to for the title. Of course, because it's in Italian. Star Wars, and man, I'm going to screw this up. Il Risveglio della Forza. Okay, so The Force Awakens. Yeah, exactly. The back is actually similar to that UK version. You do have a sticker over here that notes its, let's see, there's a bunch of numbers. Dest Vendita Noleg Vietado DVD-Blu-ray Walt Disney Co. All of your information about the languages and whatnot is, of course, in Italian as well, although it does say film in Blu-ray. Okay. It is 2 disci, with the CH, maybe? But again, it's all the same content, but again, another set of language options, different than the UK, different than Japan, different than the US. So, another different variant, but on the same film disc without audio commentary, same film disc, or excuse me, bonus disc without the added bonus features and so on. But all your text there in Italian. Notice that in Italy, that same Steelbook as in the UK. Okay, the WWA without any text on it. Same thing we saw for Japan as well. You open it, and no digital copy, no DVD copy. It is just straight Blu-ray, like what we saw with the UK. The discs themselves, only slightly different, but actually looking more like the US ones than the UK ones, if only because the UK ones always have those large UK and Ireland rating symbols on them that take up so much space. So there's our film disc, similar to the US one, Blu-ray disc, Lucasfilm, region ABC, 2016 copyright date and stuff down there, product number off to the side, and of course our title there, which is the Italian version. And then basically the same with our bonus disc. We have our Italian title, Blu-ray, Lucasfilm, bonus, ABC, copyright, product number off to the side. So is it something crazy and weird, like, say, the stuff from Blue Fans from China, or maybe the stuff from Nova Media over in South Korea? No. But it's another cool example of the WWA Steelbook concept, another Steelbook for The Force Awakens, and something from a region we haven't seen before. Italy is now being added to my Star Wars home video library. Since it's added to my library, I want to show it here on the show, because again, we focus on not just the contents of my library, but Star Wars home video in general. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.